So there was a big profile of Lindsey Graham in U.S. News, and they were asking him about Israel and Iran and Syria. And obviously now Syria is a huge issue because he's in favor of intervention. Now there's a lot of Republicans in South Carolina, including his primary opponents, who are not. They say Obama's going to make a mess of it, etc. And Lindsey Graham says, well, no, listen, I don't want this to be like Iraq and Afghanistan. In fact, literally, he says, quote, I don't want another Iraq or Afghanistan war because that's just not what we need to do. Now, wait a minute, let's pause to enjoy that irony, because who pushed us into Iraq and Afghanistan? Lindsey effing Graham. He loved the Iraq and Afghanistan war in the beginning, in the middle, at the end. He didn't want to leave Iraq when we left Iraq. So now you're going to tell me, Lindsey Graham, that you don't want another Iraq or Afghanistan? Well, then you got a funny way of showing it, because you loved that war and never wanted to leave it. And it includes, to this day, arguing that we should continue in Afghanistan. So spare me your bullshit. Okay, but he's not going to. He says, yes, in Syria, oh, wouldn't it be great if we had another Iraq or Afghanistan? We have to go in. We have to go in. Now, of course, the tremendous amount of money that Lindsey Graham has taken from defense contractors and defense industry would not affect his opinion at all. I'm sure that has nothing to do with it. And he would talk about military installations in South Carolina, who would, create more jobs, etc. But no. All this, of course, is based on his principled opposition to what Syria did and his principles that we should always be pro-war. All right, now, why in this case? Imminent danger from Syria? Are you kidding me? And then he says this, quote, I believe that if we get Syria wrong, meaning if we don't attack it, within 6 months, and you can quote me on this, there will be a war between Iran and Israel over their nuclear program. Well, mission accomplished. I just quoted you on it. Okay, and let me tell you something. You're a jackass. This is the same exact kind of fear-mongering that Lindsey Graham did in Iraq and Afghanistan. Oh my God, there's going to be an imminent war. It's a nuclear program, nuclear war, Iran and Israel, if you don't do exactly what I tell you, which is to start a new war. Isn't that convenient? He continues to explain, my fear is that it won't come to America on top of a missile. It'll come in the belly of a ship in the Charleston or New York harbor. Why didn't you just add, it'll come in the form of a mushroom cloud and it might hit us as early as 45 minutes, which is the same exact lines that they did in Iraq. No, but he wouldn't want another Iraq or Afghanistan. Please, we're talking about Syria somehow delivering nuclear missiles to Charleston? Who believes this asshole? Okay, this warmonger, this fearmonger, this man drenched in blood with his further bloodlust in Syria is going to come and tell me that no, he doesn't want another Iraq or Afghanistan, but if we don't act immediately, there will be nuclear repercussions in Charleston, South Carolina, and then there will be a huge war in the Middle East within 6 months. And he says you can quote me on it. Yes, Lindsey, we just did. And that's exactly why you should immediately lose your seat in South Carolina. And interestingly enough, you might lose it to a fellow Republican, because even the warmongers on the Republican side have gotten the memo. You know what? The American people really hate this idea of this war or another war in the Middle East, and they're not going to listen to jackasses like you anymore.